Well, that was a waste of time. Sometimes you feel like you spent some time doing whatever it is you're doing, and then by the time it's all done, you're like, well, I wish I could get those 2.5 hours back. Um, that was shit, to be honest with you. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Lakers lose to the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs snap an 18-game losing streak. And the San Antonio Spurs, I forgot to update this, and I'm updating it as we speak. I feel like that's my tradition now that I always forget to update it. They snap an 18-game losing streak, and they do it against the Los Angeles Lakers. I gotta be honest, guys. They were never really even in the game. Literally never really in the game. So we're going to spend some time talking about the Lakers loss, the road trip in general. Maybe Lakers need to just play more in-season tournament games because they look like a completely different team when they're not playing in-season tournament games. Since the in-season tournament ended, they're 1-2 on a road trip that had Dallas and the San Antonio Spurs twice. Dallas didn't have Kyrie Irving. They didn't have a number of their role players. Lakers barely survived the game against the Spurs on Wednesday, and then obviously the loss tonight. So really bad week for the Lakers just in general. I think we should add Devin Vassell to the list of players I think it's Vassell. Add that player to the list of guys that absolutely kill the Lakers. Might as well just add another one to it. There's a lot to get into. I got to be honest with you. I think for me, the thing that was most frustrating, by the time the game started, Lakers were already down 20. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And I'll spend some time talking about the next game that the Lakers have as well against the New York Knicks. So your comments here, put as many comments as you'd like. If you throw in a super chat, 100% super chat's going to get read. Don't feel obligated to do it. If you don't do a super chat, I'll do my best to try to get to your comments. Definitely not doing a roll call tonight. We don't do that on L's. If you thought I was coming in here jabbing, that ain't happening either. This is just one of those disappointing Friday night reaction type of games on YouTube. So however you want to describe it, Lakers lose big. I understand it. And if I want to start this show off by making a couple of excuses, that's fine. I know Laker fans aren't going to want to hear it, but doing the pregame show on radio, and we're looking, and it's like, the hell's going on here? The whole starting lineup is questionable. Literally. D'Angelo was questionable. Cam Reddish was questionable. LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Taurean Prince. All five of them were questionable, and we're an hour and a half before tip-off. Something like that. Something along those lines. And then the first bit of news that we got was, hey, Anthony Davis may not play. This dude's still in his warm-ups, and we're about an hour left to go before game time. So it wasn't even his warm-ups, actually. He was just in basically very casual gear, the same gear that you saw him rocking in the on the bench there. So it's like, okay, well, it sounds like AD might not go. Bron was warming up as if he was going to play. And then we end up getting, just another update. Vanderbilt was in. We got LeBron's in. We got Taurean Prince's in. But Cam Reddish, D'Angelo Russell, and Anthony Davis were all listed as out in this game. So right when you saw that, there was a little bit of, okay, well, we're definitely going to have a game here against the San Antonio Spurs. How the hell are the Lakers going to guard Victor Wembanyama? How are they just going to play defense against a team like really any team? If Anthony Davis is not in a game, how are you going to be able to get the right amount of stops that you need? But it's like, okay, Bron's there. Austin Reeves is still there. Rui Hachimura is going to have to step up. Jackson Hayes, do whatever you can on the defensive side. Max Christie, you're going to get a lot of opportunities. Taurean Prince, you've been playing some better basketball. Let's see what he can do. And Vando, it's like, all right, let's see what these guys can do. All right, game starts. Lakers are down 20 at the end of the first quarter. So it really just didn't give themselves a shot from the get-go. It was never a game that you thought, okay, hey, the Lakers are in it. I know they cut it down right before the half. I want to say Lakers cut it down all the way down to 4. I'll go back to that in a second. But again, it's just kind of going back to Same old trend that the Lakers always seem to have themselves in. You know what the Lakers' largest lead in this game was? I'll let you guys type it in. What do you think the largest lead that the Lakers had in this game? All right. We'll let a couple of those go in, and I'll read a couple off. Let me warn you, don't give it much thought at all, because it doesn't deserve that much thought at all. Lakers had, as my people here are describing, 0. It's a good guess. 0. Another really good guess. Let me see if there's any others. 0. Yes, Laker fans. Yes. The Lakers literally did not have one lead in this game. They were down by as many as 25 points, and they didn't have a lead at any moment in this game. The reason why I'm pointing that out, and the reason why I think this is important, a lot of zeros here. A lot of zeros. How about 0? Yes, you are correct. Anybody who gets 0, you win. And honestly, you win nothing, but you do win. The reason why I point that out is, okay, if you never had a lead the entire game, number one. Number two, if you're down 20 by the end of the first quarter, if you're down at some point by 25 points, how the hell are you going to be in this game? How? And it felt like the Spurs the entire way, pretty much double-digit lead the entire way. So that's why I kind of go back to is the Lakers never gave themselves a legitimate shot in this game to win. And that part to me is pretty frustrating. Could it be 0? Correct. Not a single lead, not a 1. You win as well. Literally never had a lead in this game. Okay, let's go back to the first quarter. So you come out the gate, you got injuries. Look, I'm not going to undermine. If you said, hey, do you want LeBron in the game or do you want Anthony Davis in the game? Right now at this stage, I'm taking AD because he's such an incredible defender that the Lakers probably can get enough offense. And AD is going to give you 30-plus points or whatever the case is. But you got to have that guy in. Now, LeBron was at a disadvantage because D'Lo didn't play in this game either. Cam Reddish didn't play in this game as well. But obviously, what AD can do on the defensive side. So how about this? The fourth quarter, I had Spectrum on for literally 1 or 2 minutes before I went live. I was just working on my thumbnail, so I still had it on. I thought James Worthy in that 1 minute said something that perfectly described the Lakers tonight. Do you guys remember when they gave up 45 points against the San Antonio Spurs in the fourth quarter of the game on Wednesday? Do you guys remember that the Lakers, who were up all game, who were dominating, went into the fourth quarter up 18? It got all the way down to a one-possession game, and San Antonio actually even had a chance to tie the game. And that 45 points that they scored, a team that's lost 17 games in a row, you don't think that carried some momentum for them coming into this game? Like, guys, we can hang with these guys. And oh, by the way, Anthony Davis isn't playing on the other side. Of course we could win this game. Of course we could snap this 18-game losing streak. So what happens to start the game? So the Lakers give up 45 points in the fourth quarter on Wednesday, and they give up 42 points in the first quarter on Friday, tonight. So they gave up 87 points technically in 2 quarters to the San Antonio Spurs. I know it's over 2 games, but 2 consecutive quarters, you gave up 87 points. What the F? The hell is going on here? That is awful. I'm looking at the highlights here. Down 23-10, down 25-10. They were just never in this game and never gave themselves a shot, which is incredibly frustrating. It really is. I remember I was doing the video here Saturday. It might have been Saturday. In-season tournament ends. We're all kind of feeling good about the Lakers. Look at the Lakers. They're starting to kind of they're taking their game to another level. I think they're going to really start waking up and doing their thing. We started looking at the schedule. We looked at the schedule for this week. I'm like, yeah, they had a good chance of going 3-0 here. Why wouldn't they go 3-0? Kyrie's not playing on the other side for the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavs yesterday had a game at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota was down, I think, to start the game like 19-4, whatever the score was. Dallas was up big. Dallas ended up beating them by double digits in Dallas. Kyrie's not there. That's a big piece. That's obviously not playing for them. So Lakers, lose to Dallas with LeBron and Anthony Davis, and then kind of try this. Okay, well, we're not going to play AD in one. We're not going to play in Bron one, which I get it. It's an 82-game grind. They got to do what they got to do. That's fine. But you barely squeak one out against San Antonio, and then you lose to the San Antonio Spurs. That's a bad week. All right, let's look at some of these messages here. Am I overreacting, by the way? Is there you guys think there's a little bit of a overreaction here on one loss? If you think I'm overreacting, tell me. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, I got a couple of these. I can't tonight, y'all. I have to go to work with this headache. Y'all stay blessed and catch y'all next time. I appreciate you, Ezekiel. Get out of here. We got it from here. Don't worry. We got each other's back. Like, if you can't make it tonight, I got your back. If I can't make it tomorrow, well, I still got to probably be here. Oh, I see what he was doing there. I didn't even realize that. Were you doing actually, I got to be honest with you. So I know D'Lo out with he had a migraine. Migraines are no joke. That's one thing that if I get shut down sometimes, it's because I get freaking blinded by lights and I will get migraines. That one's not easy. Okay, let's see what else we got here. A planned loss, a favor to pop, smelled it from the jump. Did you smell it from the jump, or was this literally just the San Antonio Spurs coming out and saying, we're going to try to get a win here? We can squeeze one out because the Lakers are missing three starters, and the best defensive player in the NBA, one of the best two-way players in the league. Worst loss of the season? I'll tell you right now if it's the worst loss. Let me go back here for a quick. I don't think you can call it the worst loss because they didn't have all their players. I guarantee you I could find another loss that was worse than this one where the Lakers had their guys. But let me go back and find one because at this stage of the season, they've played enough games where I can't memorize all the games. Okay, the OKC, Philly, okay. Lost to Dallas, not that big. The Sacramento, Houston, Miami, Orlando. Nope, not of those. Sacramento again. I don't know what the worst loss was. What is the worst loss of the season? We thought at the time it would be Houston. Remember when they lost to Houston by 30-something? They lost to Philly by 44. They've actually done pretty good against bad teams. The problem is they usually lose to good teams, which is not what anybody wants. So worst loss of the season. There are a lot worse losses, as in the amount of points that they lost by, but that doesn't necessarily mean that was the worst loss. All y'all trying to shame us for talking about trades. Where y'all at? I don't think people are shaming anyone about trades, but literally because the Lakers can't actually make trades yet. I know some players are now eligible, but there's still going to be other players eligible January 15th. Listen, the trade conversation is not crazy. I just think the timing is not right now. And I'm hesitant on Zach LaVine. I don't want Zach LaVine's contract for the next 4 years. Do I think Zach LaVine and Anthony Davis are the solution that's the Lakers' future? No, I don't. But let's wait another month. You get to January 15th, and then I think those trade conversations are much more relevant. I don't think they're relevant right now. All right, let's see what else we got here. And then I got to start getting into individual performances. There's some players I gotta talk a little bit about here. And again, this was one of those games where it came more down to lack of defense than anything else. But I guess I wasn't all that surprised because the Lakers don't have their best player. How about Vassell? Every time I saw that dude take a jumper, it was just buckets. What do you have? 36 points? My God. All right, I'm going to get into that box score in just a second. Excuses. Okay, might be right there. Coach didn't call timeout early. He did not. Oh, my God. 2 nights ago, we inspired them. Oh, I like these. Allen, stop making excuses. We were more than enough to win this game. This is Darvin Ham for never calling a timeout while the other team is going on a 10, 15-point run. What a joke. All right, maybe I made a couple excuses there. Well, them not having Anthony Davis, Cam Reddish, and D'Angelo Russell that's not an excuse. That's just information that's important to pass on. However, you're down 25 in this game. You're down 20 by the end of the first quarter. You did not have a lead in this entire game. They made a lead they made a comeback in the second quarter. They went to a zone and took San Antonio some time to kind of adjust to it. And they brought it all. I think LeBron in just the second quarter had 18 and 9. I heard ESPN say that a couple times. I'm like, what? 18 and 9? I don't think I've ever heard somebody had a stat line in one quarter of 18 and 9. So cut it all the way down to 4. I want to say San Antonio got it to 7 before the half ended. And then the third quarter started, and it was like, and I guess San Antonio, I heard them saying on the broadcast, the worst third quarter team or one of the worst third quarter teams in the NBA. And Lakers, which is kind of different than what we're accustomed to, one of actually the best third quarter teams in the NBA. And by the time the third quarter was done, outscored the Lakers by 4, took it back up to double digits by the time fourth quarter started. Lakers would try to make a run. 16, and Reeves hit 2 threes in a row. And you felt like, oh, the momentum's changing. No, you're still down 10. You've dug yourself such a hole. It's virtually impossible to come back in a game like that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Not just one loss. We should have lost game 2 against the worst team in the league. We should have lost 2 against the worst team in the league. Yeah, you could be right. They did get lucky. No question about it. They got lucky. You hear some noise in the background. Yeah, the dog. He's shaking his hair. He's itching a little bit, doing his thing. You good, Rook? You good, buddy? I think he's good. He's good. He decided he was hanging out with us tonight. All right, let's see what else we got here. We have San Antonio too much inspiration. We gave San Antonio too much after Wednesday night's loss. I don't disagree with that at all. Somebody was talking about worst losses this year. Somebody said OKC. I don't think it was OKC. I mean, Philly beat the Lakers by 46, 44. So that's, you can't have that happen. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, that's kind of funny right there. Yeah, you got some. We got some funny comments in here. Okay, let me get into the box score here real quick. I want to get into the box score and just kind of walk through some of the individual Laker players, specifically more the Spurs, how the Spurs just kind of dominated. Let's share my screen here real quick. All right, let's find it. All right, let's share this bad boy real quick. All right, you guys got it? We in it? We in this together? All right, you guys got it here too. Let's start with the Lakers, okay? So Bron ended up with 23 and 14. Minus 28 for LeBron James. Sheesh. 23 and 14. Also had 7 rebounds. Only 7 of 17 from the field. Had to play 36 minutes. Okay. But this just shows how bad the starters were for the Lakers because most of the starters on here dug the Lakers the hole that they did. And then look at the bench. For the most part, the bench, everybody was in the plus because they're coming in where the Lakers are already down 15 or 20. Okay, keep going down the list. Taurean Prince, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 12 points. Austin Reeves did what he can, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Not efficient tonight, 8 of 18 from the field. Look at Max Christie. Wow, what a bad game for Christie. These are the type of games, too. We look at Max Christie, and these are the type of games that you're saying to yourself, Max, can we get one? Can we get a good one from you? This might be one of those games where they need him to go 30 minutes. What an opportunity for him. Not a good game. 1 of 6 from the field, minus 25, and the plus minus just 2 points for him. Rui, I was actually impressed with. I was ready to kind of come at Rui a little bit if he didn't have a good game tonight. These are games where Rui's going to have to start picking up his game too. I know he's been in and out of the lineup, but 8 of 15, 34 minutes, 20 points, had 5 rebounds, had 4 assists. Christian Wood actually a plus 13. How do you have on the same team with minus 28 and a plus 13? 17 points for Christian Wood, 6 of 10 from the field, 30 minutes. But ultimately for the Lakers, Vando couldn't hit a shot, took 3 shots, 0 of 3. 0 points for him. On the other side, look at the Spurs. David Vassell, 36 points. Wemby didn't even have a good game. 5 of 13 for Wemby. Had 13 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I say not a good game, as in offensively he wasn't crazy. How many guys did they have in double figures? Look at this. 7 guys in double figures with a dude scoring 36. So that is not a good performance by the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, let me get through a couple supers here real quick. LeBron may be the best player, but AD is the most important player on this team. We can't win without AD. Let's stay right there. It's actually a very good topic in a conversation. I took some notes. Did you look at my notes? Because I had some notes earlier. So I'm assuming that you read my notes, which is why you're saying that. This is what I have here. Better chance to win if one of those two guys are out. Here's a reality. With the Lakers, there is 1,000%. When you have Anthony Davis not in a game, the chances of you losing, listen, AD or Bron, they're both obviously unbelievable. But what you lose from Anthony Davis is, yeah, he can drop 30 and get you 12 rebounds. But what you lose is the other side of the floor. He's arguably the best player in the NBA, the best defensive player in the NBA every time that he's on there or every time he's out there. So I do think there's definitely that, well, if he's not there, then the chances of you giving up 115 points, 120 points, 129 points, well, that increases. Now, they also miss another player in Cam Reddish, who's a good defender. They also miss another player in D'Lo that could go get you buckets. So 3 starters that were out for the Lakers. But no question about it that when Anthony Davis is not in games, they're in a tough position, period. I spent actually a lot of time on the radio today, this morning. I also did it in the pregame show. There's a lot of noise around Anthony Davis when he has a bad game. There's not enough noise. The volume is not turned up when he goes on a streak where he's playing really, really well. And he's been playing really, really well. This is only the second game he's missed all season as well, something to keep in mind. So the reason why I set it up that way is because I do think that's important to point out. I do think there are times where we take for granted what Anthony Davis is, what he brings to the table, that he has been consistent this year, that I look at his last 3 games. He's got a 41-20, 2 37s and double-digit rebounds, block shots. I mean, he's been great this year. But him not being out on the floor clearly changes everything. Clearly changes everything for the Lakers. So, unfortunately for the Lake Show, not in the lineup tonight, and that had a tremendous impact here. All right. I'm tired talking about the Lakers and their horrible playing. We were smoked. A lot of people going at Coach. A lot of people going at Coach as well. The in-season tournament is going to be the only highlight of the season. I disagree. They'll be fine. They'll kind of figure things out. By the way, Monday, speaking of in-season tournament, Lakers are going to be putting up the banner, the in-season tournament banner. That thing's still completely weird to me. It's completely weird. I'm very curious where they're going to put it, how big it is. I mean, you got 17 NBA championships up there, and then Hall of Fame icons, and a number 8 and a number 24, a Chick Hearn, and we're putting an in-season tournament, a 7-game tournament up there. By the way, I'm the minority on this. I feel like there's a lot of Laker fans that are okay with it, which is fine. Everybody's got their own opinion, but I just personally don't understand it. They underestimated the Spurs after beating them last Wednesday. Thank you, Bargain Shopper. I don't know if they underestimated them or they gave the San Antonio Spurs a ton of confidence that they can figure out a way to come back and make a game out of this one tonight. And they didn't just make a game of it. Spurs dominated. That's, ultimately at the end of the day, I think I try to go out of my way and give credit where credit's due. The Spurs were just flat out better than the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, and they were better from the first quarter on. And to be honest with you, it wasn't even that close. Like, I don't think the score indicated just how much better that the San Antonio Spurs were than the Lakers. There were times where you look at the score and be like, oh, you know what? No, this is actually a close game. It was not a close game. This was an ass kicking from the beginning, and that's the absolute truth there. All right, let me get a quick shout out here. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy over here. That is the code. It's Hoops LA. I'll make this quick here and just kind of explain. They are partner of the channel here on Hoops Talk. I'm very appreciative of this partnership with Underdog Fantasy. If you want to sign up and use your email address, obviously the first time that you've ever been on there, make sure you use that code Hoops LA. If you use that code Hoops LA, you get a first deposit match of up to $100. What does that mean? That means if you put $100 in, they'll match it. You got $100 extra to play with on the website, but you don't have to put 100. You could put 50. You could put $10. You could put 25. Put whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever that amount is, as long as it doesn't go over $100, they'll match that deposit of up to $100. Let me pick a game tomorrow. You know what? Let's change it up here. Let's go NFL. Since the NFL's got games tomorrow, we might as well go with the NFL. Here's a Saturday game. Here's another. Let's go Denver at Detroit. That actually has become interesting, even though it was never interesting before. Russell Wilson at Detroit, over higher or lower than 216.5 yards. Let's go Russell Wilson. Let's go higher. Let's go to the other quarterback on the other side. Let's see if Goff is an option here. Jared Goff, 254 yards. I'll go lower. I actually think Denver finds a way to win this game. I think, not 100% sure, but that's all you got to do. I got Russell Wilson. I got Jared Goff. If I win both of these, my $20 that I put in pays out $60. That's how Underdog Fantasy works. I appreciate their partnership. It's partnerships like this that help me grow the channel, improve the equipment. I got somebody helping me out doing some shorts that I'm doing. There's different things that just make the channel look better. And I'm able to do this because of a partner like Underdog Fantasy. So I appreciate your guys' support. If this is something that you're interested in, just put that code in, Hoops LA. Okay, let me read off a couple more of these, and then we could talk about the next game coming up, which is against the New York Knicks. Let's see what else we got here. What's the latest here? All of you guys would be moaning if the Lakers had not won the cup. Great topic. Awesome topic. I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. I genuinely did not care. I didn't. I thought it was cool. Like, okay, if they win it, they win it. By the way, you're in Indiana. The only thing I cared about with the games leading up to the in-season tournament championship, the only thing that I cared about was the fact that all those games counted towards the regular season. They didn't count towards the regular season. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the game against the Pacers, I wanted them to win because you already got there. But if they didn't win, I'm not losing sleep over it. And, oh, by the way, the game literally did not count. It does not go towards the standings, and the stats don't go towards your regular season. So I always thought that was interesting. Let's see what else we got here. A trophy is a trophy. Celebrate it. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. I just don't want to see a banner of a 7-game tournament hanging up to some of those other banners. But it is what it is. It's going to happen, so it doesn't matter. Lost to the Spurs. All right, I'm not doing roll call today, but I mean, guys tuning in from Uganda. What, am I not supposed to say what's going on to Uganda? Of course I am. I appreciate you being a part of the show. Thank you. Okay, but that's it. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else. It was crazy to collapse in that fourth quarter like they did. Everybody wants to beat the Lakers anyway. We didn't need to give encouragement. It's not even encouragement. It's confidence. It's, wait a minute, maybe we can beat these guys. And it's momentum. You know what's so crazy about that Spurs game, the game on Wednesday? When does it happen in the regular season where you get the same team twice? That almost seemed like I was joking around about it. I know this is not a playoff series, but the format was similar to a playoff series. One team gets 2 games at home, and they could kind of take the momentum of whatever they accomplished in the first game and apply it to the second game. Again, it's not comparable because it ain't the playoffs, and the Spurs were riding an 18-game losing streak. However, you did have a San Antonio Spurs team, or you had a Lakers team that were missing some guys, and you had a Spurs team that said, all right, we feel like we can beat these guys. Okay. O.C. O'Neal, appreciate the love here. See what else we got here. Exactly. Nobody is scared of the Lakers. You might be right about that. Hardest Laker team to get a read on of all time. Ironically, the more inconsistent the Lakers are, the more this channel will grow. Always plenty to talk about. Well, I will tell you, as somebody that's had this channel for a while, Lakers are always an interesting topic, period. They just are. They always have been. They're a franchise that has popularity not just in Southern California, not just in LA, not just in California. I mean, literally everywhere. That's actually why some of the reason why I end up doing roll call. I literally do it because I know people are tuning in from everywhere because Laker fans are everywhere. I'm a good example. I'm born and raised in San Diego, but I grew up a Laker fan, right? So it almost the brand. It's one of the few brands that has nothing to do with geography. Clips played them twice, won both. Spurs were confident from the fourth quarter last game. Pop had them ready to go. Okay, next game for the Lake Show. So they got a home game coming up on, what is that, Monday versus the Knicks. Let me actually take a quick look at the standings here because, to be completely honest with you, I have no idea how the New York Knicks are doing. They're playing right now. I know on ESPN they got the game against the Suns. Where are the Knicks at? 13-10, 5-5 in their last 10. Knicks will come ready to play, right? Tom Thibodeau, he's a coach that's got his guys always ready to go. They lost their last game to the Utah Jazz. They've lost 3 of 4 games. Jazz are not a good team, so that says something. If that's the case, see how some of their guys: Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. So kind of the same guys. I think nothing to be too. Knicks are a game where you should win, but Knicks are a game, if you don't play good basketball, they will beat you. So if you're a couple of games over 500, that means you can go on the road and you can handle business. And the Lakers are like this right now, 1-2 since the in-season tournament ended. That one's a frustrating one to comprehend. Okay. Laker fans, I think that is all we got for tonight. I think we got everything in that I want to get in there. Got over a half hour, which is all I was really kind of looking to do. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. No game Saturday and no game Sunday. So that means this is it for the weekend. If I come up with something that I think that's a good subject, I'll let you guys know. I'll definitely put something on here. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I will connect back with you guys most likely on Monday after the Lakers take on the Knicks. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy some of that NFL football. Thanks, Laker fans. Appreciate it.